In this video, we'll be seeing how to implement CRUD operations in PHP. This is the demo of what we are going to do in this video. We can see a form and we can try inserting the user. We can try submitting this user. And you can see user added successfully. And on the below table, you can see new user has been added. Okay, hope this is visible for you. And we are also having the update and delete option as well. So let's try deleting the last user. Okay, now you can see user deleted successfully. And you can see the user was removed from the table as well. Now we can try the update option. And when we click on the update button, you can see the update form has opened. Let's try changing the username. So the name was Vishnu. So we can change it to, we can also set a new password as well. Let's try submitting it. Okay, now user updated successfully. You can also see the name has been updated. Okay, so this is what we are going to do in this video. So let's start with the implementation part. I am having SAMP installed and ready. You can see Apache running and also MySQL. We can go to the PHP MyAdmin. So click on the admin button straight to the MySQL. Inside the PHP MyAdmin, we can create a new database. So we can name the database CRUD_PHP. So you can give any other name. So I am giving this name for the database and we can click on create. Now we have to create a table inside the database. So we can name the table users and we need 4 columns. Okay, so we can click on create and the first column will be ID and we can set it to int itself. We have to set it to primary key. So for that you can go to the right and you can see the option AI. So this means auto increment. So check this option and you can see it automatically set the ID to primary key. Then the next column name will be name. So let's give a name. So name of the user and we can set it to text. And then the next one will be email. Email we have to set it to varchar and we can set it to 500. Okay, we have to set the email to unique. So go to the right and you can see here we have to select the unique option. Click go. Okay, that's it. So you can see on the top, this is the index and we have to set it to unique. Then we can go to the next option, that is the password. Okay, we can set the password to text. So the type of the password is text. Email is varchar of 500 and name is type text and ID is of type int and ID is primary key and we have set it to auto increment and also the email is unique. Now we can scroll down and click the save button. So you can see we are having a table with ID, primary key, name, email which is unique and a password. Now we'll be seeing how to insert data, read data from this table, update data on this table and also how to delete the data from this table. So we'll be using this table to do the CRUD operations. I have opened a folder inside PHP Storm. So you can use any other IDE. I'm using PHP Storm and we can create 4 files. The first one will be index.php and we can create the next one, that is delete.php. And the next one will be update.php. And we also need to create one file, that is create.php. Inside the index.php, we'll be showing the read operation. So for that, we have to create a UI first. So let's go to the Bootstrap. You can see that I have opened the Bootstrap documentation page. So go to getbootstrap.com and go to the docs section and you can scroll down. And we can copy this from here and we can paste it here. So we'll be replacing this link with the assets that we'll be downloading now. So go to the Bootstrap again and we have to download the files. So go to the download section. You can see that on the sidebar and we can click on download button. You can see that the file is downloaded. Let's extract the files and add it to assets folder. Here you can see that I have created a folder assets. And inside that, I have created another folder, CSS and JavaScript. And you can see the Bootstrap library inside that. Okay, so you can do the same, and we'll be including this to the HTML part. So let's remove this link from here. So you can see that we have added the bootstrap from the assets folder. Okay, you can see the CSS part and also the JavaScript. Okay, then you can go back to the bootstrap documentation. Here you can scroll on the sidebar and we have to select a table. So let's select the table and scroll down, and we can copy this table from here and we can paste it here. So before pasting, we can create a div inside the body tag. We can give a class container. We can also give a margin top. Then we can create a style tag and set the maximum width to 900 pixel. Okay, that's all. Then open the div, and inside this div we can paste the table. Okay, then we can remove the unwanted rows. So let's remove these 2 rows. Okay, we can also remove the scope from here. Okay, also we can make this name, and the first option will be ID. The third option will be email, and we'll not be showing the password, so we can remove the fourth option. If you want to show the password, you can show that, since the password will be in an encrypted version, so there's no point in showing the password. Okay, we only need 4 columns. Okay, now this is our table. You can see this. Okay, now we have to select the data from the database. Right now we are not having any data inside the database. Still, we'll be doing the read operation now. Okay, so come here and we can start the PHP tag. We have to connect to the database. So we can create a variable $con equal to, we have to use the function MySQL connect. The first option will be localhost. The next option will be username. So by default, the SAMP is having the username root. The next option is password. So by default, SAMP is having a password that is empty. Okay. And the next option is the database name. So our database name is CRUD PHP. Okay. So this will connect the database to our project. Give a semicolon, hit enter. Now we can check if the connection is successful or not. If $con and if connection is successful, we can do the rest of the work. So let's create a SQL query $SQL equal to select star from the table name. So select star from users, and the table name is users. So we are having select star from users. Then we can run the query for that $res equal to MySQLi query. And then we can pass the connection variable $con, comma, we have to pass the SQL, $SQL. Okay, now we can check if the result is there or not. So for that, if MySQLi numbers pass the $res, we have to check if it is not equal to 0. That means if there is any result, we can execute the if condition. And inside that, we can create a while loop. While $row equal to MySQLi fetch Ashok. So we are fetching the associative array from the result variable. So $res. Okay, we can open the while loop. So we'll be getting each row inside this row variable inside the while loop. Okay, so we can close the PHP here and we can open it once more. Okay, let's format the code. So inside PHP Storm, you can simply click Ctrl Alt and L, and that will format the code. So the shortcut for formatting the code will differ according to the editor. And inside this, we have to give the row. So let's cut the row from here and we can paste the row here. Okay. Now we can print the data from this row inside this th. So for that, we can open the PHP. You have to use this tag. This will straightly echo the variable, and we can use $row of, the first one is the ID. So let's call the ID. Okay, we can copy this from here and paste it on the next one and the next one. and we can change the ID to name, and the next one is email. Okay, so we can try running this, but since we are not having any data inside the table, we'll not get any results. So let's try running it for now. So you can see the table here. So you can see the table heading, that is the ID, name, and the email here. Hope you can see that. So we can simply give one more class to the table, so it will look much better. So scroll to the top and take the table. And here we have to add one more class, that is table bordered. Okay, that's all. Then we can try refreshing the page once more. Now we can see that we are having a border on the table. Okay, since we are not having any other rows, we are only showing the table heading here. When we are having any data inside the table, that will be shown here. Okay, so now we can create the create.php part. Inside that, we'll be doing the insertion part. So we'll be inserting to the database in that part. So let's open the create.php file. And here we have to connect to the database first. So we can copy the code from here. Okay, we can copy this much from here. And you can paste it here. Let's close the if condition. Okay, then we can give an else part here. So if the if condition is false, we can simply show an error message. So for showing the error message, we have to create two variables on the top. So $status, and we can set the status to failed by default. And next we have to create a variable message. We can set it to unknown. Okay, now here inside the if condition, go to the else part. Else, we can set the message. So $message equal to, we can give all fields are required. Give a semicolon. Okay. Now for the insertion, we will be receiving name, email, and the password. So go to the top after this variables. We can create an if condition. If, and inside that we can check if the post variable. So we will be sending a post request from a form. So we can check not empty. And inside that we can pass the $post of name. So this will check if the post variable name is not empty. If that is not empty, we can open the if condition and execute the rest of the statement. We'll also be checking the next one, that is the email. So give an and here, not empty of post email. And the next one is password. Okay, now the if condition is if not empty of post variable name and not empty of post variable email and not empty of post variable password. And we can open the if condition here and we can close it at the bottom. Okay, so this error message is for this if condition. Okay, so I made a mistake there. Okay, so we can close it before this error message. Okay, now we are having the else part here. Okay, so hope you understand. This is the if condition and this is the else part for that. Okay, and we can copy this else part from here and we can add an else part for the connection. So paste it here and we can change this message to database connection failed. Okay, that's all. Now we can receive the post name, email, and the password to a variable. So the password, we have to encrypt the password. So we'll be using the function password hash. And we also have to pass the password and then we have to pass password default. Okay, that's all. So now we are having the name, email, and the password, which is encrypted. Okay, then we can go to the if condition. Inside the if condition, we can create an SQL query. So $SQL equal to, now we have to write the insert SQL query, insert into So the table name is users, and we have to specify the fields, name, comma, email, comma, password, and space. We have to give the values. We can give the values. So we have to use a single quote, then a double quote. Okay, and we have to use the dot operator. And inside this, we can call the $name. So the first one we wrote here is name. So we have to pass the value, first one to be name. Give a comma, and we can copy this here, and we can paste it here. Okay, and change the name to email. Give a comma after this, paste what we copied earlier, and change the name to $password. Okay, so I formatted the code, and I will hit an enter from here. Okay, so you can see the SQL query properly. Give a semicolon after the SQL query. Okay, so this is our SQL query. Insert into table name, that is users, name, email, and password. Values, then we are passing the values. We have to use a single quote, then a double quote, then use a dot operator, then give the variable name, then the dot operator again, and double quotes again, and the single quote. Okay, so hope you understand how to do that. Okay, so this is our SQL query. Now we can run the SQL query. For that, if inside that we can call the MySQL query, pass the $connection variable, and then the SQL query $SQL. Okay, and open the if condition. Inside this if condition, we can create another if condition. If MySQL affected rows, pass the $connection variable. Okay, and inside this if condition, we can set the status variable to success. So we are typing this success message in small letters, so make note of that. Give a semicolon, and we can pass a success message also. So $message equal to, we can do something like user added successfully. Okay, give a semicolon, and we can do the else part. Okay, else we don't have to set the status because by default it is to failed, so we don't have to update that. We just have to set the message. Else $message equal to, we can give an error message like failed to add user. Give a semicolon, and you can copy this else part from here, and you can paste it for this if condition also. Okay, that's all. So we have completely done the create part. Okay, we also have to call the header at the bottom. Okay, so don't forget that header, and we are going to redirect the user location. Then we can pass the index.php file. So we are going to redirect the user to index.php, and we have to pass the status and the message also. So give a comma, status equal to, and we can pass the status variable. So give a dot operator, $status. Give a dot operator again, and open the double quotes. Use an AND operator, message equal to dot operator and $message, and that's all. Okay, so this is going to redirect the user to the index.php file, and we'll be also passing the status and the message also to the index.php file. Okay, now we have to call this create from the index.php file. So for that, we have to create a form inside the index.php file. So go to the Bootstrap once more, and we have to choose the forms from the sidebar. You can see the forms here. Click on the overview, scroll down, and we can choose the first form itself. Copy it, and we can paste it above the table. Okay, so let's create a div, and we can paste it inside the div. And we can give a class for the div. We can give a class card and give a margin bottom. And we can also give a padding for the card. Okay. We can also call a style and set the maximum width to 500 pixel. Okay, that's all. Then go to the form and we have to specify the action. We have to pass the create.php here. Okay, so we'll be calling the create.php when the user enter the details inside this form and click the submit button. Then we have to specify the method, and method is post. Okay, that's all. So specify this much inside the form. Okay, we can also give a heading for the form. So come here and let's create a p tag. We can give a class for the paragraph, class font size maybe like 3, and font style, font weight. Okay, font weight bold. Okay, and we can give a heading like create new user. Okay, that's all. Now we can arrange the input tags. So we can change the IDs here. So we need the full name. Okay, so the name, change the ID to name, copy the ID here, and we have to change the ID here. Okay, and we can remove this from here. Okay, and also the line here. Now we can change this email address to full name and change the type to text. Okay, now we can copy this div and paste it below it. Then we have to change the full name to email address and change the ID to email. And we also have to change the type here, change the type to email as well. We also need to specify the name for each input tag. So go to the full name and we have to give a name, and the name for the input tag of name will be name. Okay, so don't be confused. So we are simply giving the name of this input tag name. If you want to change this, you can simply use something like f name or full name or something like that. Okay, that doesn't matter. Okay, so we are using name here, and we also have to give the name for the input tag for email. Okay, so go to the password. Let's change the ID for the password. Okay, let's give the ID, and we can also give the name. I'm choosing the name to be password itself. Okay, we can remove this checkbox from here. Okay, and that's all. Go to the browser and refresh the page. So after refreshing, you can see the form is here. So you can see the form, and below the form we are having the table also. Okay, hope this is visible for you properly. Now we can try entering the data. Okay, we can try submitting it. So you can see the user has been added, and we are having the data on the table. You can see the data on the table with the ID 1, name Vishnu, and also the email is support@codecc.com. Okay, so our insertion part is working. Now we can see that there is no success message, and we are also having a get request on the top. It won't be visible for you, but the get request is there. So we have to use the status and the message, and we have to show the success message here. So for that, go to the IDE and scroll to the top, and here give an enter, start the PHP tag here, and we have to check if not empty of $_request. So we'll be receiving a get request. So we are simply specifying a request. This will accept the post and the get request as well. Okay, so $request of status. Okay, and we can give an and not empty and pass the $request of message. Okay, and open the if condition, and inside this we can check if dollar request of status equal to success. So you have to make sure the success message is in small letters. Okay. Open the if condition and we can close the PHP tag here. Open the PHP tag. After that, we can format the code and come here, hit enter. And here we have to specify a alert. So go to the Bootstrap, open the Bootstrap documentation and go to alerts on the sidebar. So scroll to the bottom and you can see dismissible alert. Okay, so copy this and we can paste it here. Okay, now we can change the message. So simply remove the first one. So you have to remove the line here. Don't remove this button. Okay. And now we can give the message. So open the PHP tag to echo things. And we can call the dollar request of message. Now this will echo the message. You can try running and it will show the success message. Now go to the else part of this if condition. Else. Open the else. Then we have to close the PHP tag once more. Open the PHP tag again. Format the code. And you can copy the alert on the top and paste it here. Okay. So you can see the alert classes alert and alert warning. So we can change the warning to success. So we have changed the alert to alert success for the first one. That is inside the success. Then on the else part, we can change this to danger. So change it to alert danger. Okay, that's all. Now we can try running it. Let's refresh the page and you can see user added successfully. Okay, so we are having the get request on the top on the URL. Okay, so the error message and the success message is working. Now we can go back to the IDE. Then we have to implement the delete and the update operation. So scroll down and go to the row section here. And here we have to add one more column to the table and to the row header. Can give th and we can give the heading like actions. Scroll down and we can add the data td, and here we have to create two buttons for updating and deleting. So create an a tag, and inside the a tag we have to call the classes btn and btn, maybe like btn warning for the update button. Okay, we can give the text like update, and we can copy this a tag from here. Let's hit an enter. Hit enter here also. And we can give a space here. Hit enter once more and paste it here. And we can change the warning to danger and change the update to delete. Okay, now we are having two buttons with the action update and delete. Okay, then we have to specify the links here. So we can specify the links. So href, and we have to specify the update.php. We also have to pass the ID. So give a question mark ID equal to, open the PHP tag to echo things. And here we have to call $row. Inside that we can call the ID. Okay. Now we can copy it from here. Copy this much from here. Okay. We can copy the href from here. Okay. And paste it on the delete button also. Simply change update.php to delete.php. That's all. So we need to pass the ID both inside the update and also on the delete option as well. So on the update, we'll be passing the email also, since we are not going to fetch the data again on the update part. We'll be passing the email once more. I'll show you why we are passing the email. So give an and here, email equal to, and we can copy this from here and paste it here. Change the ID to email. Okay. That's all. Okay. So we are having two buttons now. You can see this. We also have given the link to update and delete. Now we have to implement the files update.php and delete.php. So let's go to the delete.php first. So we have to do the connection part. So we can copy that from create.php. You can copy this much from here and paste it on delete.php. And for deleting, we only need the ID. So we can remove all these conditions and change name to ID. Okay, so remove this line from here and change name to ID, $ID. Okay, now we can close the if condition. Now inside this, we have to connect to the database. You can copy that from the create.php as well. Okay, let's copy this two line and paste it inside here. Okay, close the if condition. And inside this if condition, we can start the delete function. So write an SQL query, $SQL equal to delete from table name where ID equal to the specified ID. Okay. So we can give the ID like this because the ID is an integer. So you can use it like this. Okay. You don't have to give a single quote before this. Okay. Okay. We can create an if condition once more. And inside that we can call the MySQLi query. Pass the connection variable and the SQL query. Open the if condition. Create another if condition. MySQLi affected rows and pass the $CON. Open the if condition. So you can simply remove this recurring if condition by checking like not affected rows, and simply you can call a die or something like that. Okay. So I'm simply going with the flow. Okay. $status. So we have to set the status message here. So you can copy the error messages from the create.php. Okay. So we can copy this much from here. Okay. Maybe you can copy this much. Okay. And we can paste it on the delete.php. We can check if the else part is properly done. So check the message, the status equal to success. That is correct. And the message equal to user added. So we can change that to user deleted successfully. Okay. Fail to add. So you can copy deleted from here and change add to deleted. Fail to delete. Okay. Fail to delete user. Fail to delete user. Okay. And the database connection. Okay. That message is true. And the next one is also correct. Okay. Now we can check the header part, and the header part is also correct. Okay. Okay. Now the delete.php is completely done. Now we can try deleting the user. So go to the browser. Now we can simply refresh the page, and you can see the buttons here, update button and the delete button. So we can click the delete button now. You can see all fields are required. Okay. So let's go to the code. You can see that we are asking for a post variable, but we are passing it as a get variable. So simply change this post to $get or $request. So we can change it to $request for now. Okay, change the next one also. So hope you understand. We use the post request and we are simply sending a get request. So that was the mistake there. Now we can try deleting the user once more. Okay, you can dismiss the error message. Click on the undo button here. And we can delete the user by clicking the button delete. So you can see user deleted successfully. And the user is gone from the table also. Okay, so the delete part is also completely done. Now we have to do the update.php part. Now to start with the update.php, we can go to index.php and we can copy completely. So Control A, Control C, and we are going to paste it in the update.php. Okay. So go to the top and on the first line, we have to check if request of ID is set or not. Okay. So open the PHP tag here. And here you have to check if empty off. It is not empty. We are using simply empty. Okay. If the dollar request of ID is empty, open the if condition and we'll be calling header location colon index.php, and then we can pass the status and the message. So now we are checking if empty of dollar request of ID, and if it is empty, we are going to redirect the user to index.php, and we will be showing this error message status is equal to failed, and we are setting the message is equal to no ID specified for the request. Okay, now we can scroll down. So you can see the title here. So we can change the title to CRUD operations in PHP. We can also specify this on the index.php as well. So copy it from here and go to the top. Okay, we can paste it here. Okay, go back to update.php. Now we can update some things here. Okay, we don't need the table. So remove the table. So this much is the table. Okay, so remove the table tag completely because we are not going to show the list of users here. So remove the table from here. We need the form tag. Okay, so you can change this title here to something like update user details. Okay, then we can change the action to remove this create.php, and we'll be setting the action empty. So the action will be to the same file, that is update.php, and the method is post. Then we can check the form part. Okay, the form part inside the input tag, we need the name. Okay, and we can set the value for the email. So I am going to set email to be not updatable. So let's set the value for the email. That's why we are passing the email from the link. So we can give a value, and we are receiving the value of the email just like this $request of ID. Instead of ID, we'll be using email. Okay, so go to the values. So here it is. Okay, so let's open the PHP and we can paste it here. Okay, change ID to email, and we can set this input tag to disabled. Okay, that's all. Now we also have to pass the ID as well. So for that, we can come here on the top inside the form, create an input tag, give some type like text itself, and we can give a name. Name is very important. ID. Then we can give the value. Open the PHP tag, and we can print the ID here. Request of ID. Okay, and then we can set this to hidden. That's all. So this field won't be visible to the user, but the value will be there. Okay, so we are receiving the value from the get request that we passed from the clicking of the button on the index.php. Okay, hope you understand that. If you are having any doubt, you can leave a comment and I will respond to the comment so we can resolve the issues there. Okay, you can also join our WhatsApp, Discord communities, and you can engage there. You can also get the response there also. Okay, so now we are having the option to update the name and the password. So you can also enable the updating of email, but I am not going to enable the updating of email. If you want to do that, you can enable that. Now we can scroll to the bottom and give a name for the button. So give a name for the button, name equal to btn underscore update. Okay, so come to the bottom maybe outside the HTML tag. We can create an PHP part. Here we can check if the button is submitted or not. For that, if $not empty of $post of, we can give the name of the button, that is btn update. Open the if condition. Inside this, we can create the variables, that is the status and the message. So we can copy that from create.php. So we can copy this much from here. And maybe we can copy this much, okay, because we need the code to connect to database as well. Copy this much. Go to update.php. Paste it here. Okay. So let's close the if conditions. Okay. Okay. So we have closed the if conditions. Now let's check the if condition. $empty of name. Okay. We are having the name. So we are checking if the not empty of post and not empty of email and not empty of password. Okay. We can change email to ID because we are not going to update the email. So we can change it to ID. We need the ID for the where condition. Okay. Okay. We can change email to ID here. Okay. And we are also hashing the password here also. You can see password hash and we are passing the post password. Okay. Then we are connecting to the database here. And inside this if condition, we can run the SQL query. So let's create the SQL query to update user $SQL equal to. So the SQL query to update the user is like update users, that is the table name, set update users, then set name equal to, then we can give the value of the name. So new value of the name. Okay. And the new value of the name is inside the variable $name. Okay. We can copy this much from here. Give a comma here and paste it here. And we can change this name to password. And you can change this also to $password. Okay. Then we have to give the where condition. So where ID equal to, then we have to give the ID that is specified. So we can give ID like $ID. Okay. So we can give a semicolon at the end. So I will hit an enter from here so you can view it properly. Okay. Hope you can see the SQL query properly. Update users, set name equal to the new name, password equal to the new password, where ID equal to the ID that we specified on the top. Okay, hope you understand that. We are getting the ID here and then we are passing it. Okay. Now we can run this SQL query. So if my SQLi query pass the $con, comma $SQL, open the if condition. Maybe we can copy it from the other files. Go to create.php and copy this much from here. This much from here. Okay. And we can paste it on the update.php. Okay. While copying and pasting, you have to make sure that you are not making any error. So that is very important. Okay. So you can see that we are having an error here. So I'll be resolving that. So you have to resolve it with me. Okay. So we are having the else part for this one. Okay. So the if condition, we are having the user added successfully. So user updated successfully. Okay. Failed to update. Okay. You have to change add to update. And the next one is also failed to update user. Okay. Okay. This much is correct. And the next one is also correct. Database connection. And the next one is also correct. Okay. Then we are having this if condition. Okay. So we have to close that if condition here. So come here on the last and close it here. And we don't have to give an else part for this button. Okay. Because we are checking this button in order to avoid printing of that else part while we run this file simply. Okay. So if you try to give an else part, you will understand what I meant by that. So you don't have to give an else part for this if condition. Okay. That's all. Now we can try running this file. The implementation is almost complete. So we can try running it. To update the user, we have to enter a user first. Let's submit the user. So we added the user. Now we can click on update user. Click on the update button. So the update form has opened. Let's change the name to CodeCC. And we can also change the password, but it won't be visible because we are hashing the password. So let's change the password to something bigger. Okay, we can submit it. So when we submitted the user, you can see it updated, but the user data was not updated. We can try refreshing the database and you can see the user data is not updated. So we can go to the code and check what happened. And here we can see that I'm using not empty of, and we are not having any value for the button. So that was the reason. So you can change this not empty of to ESET of. Okay. Now this will solve the issue. Okay. ESET of $post of and the button name. Okay. That's all. Now this will solve the issue and we can try running it once more. So we have opened the app once more and we can click on the update button once more. You can see the update form opened. So let's give a name and also give a new password. Let's submit the details. Now you can see update user has been successfully done and we are getting redirected to index.php. Okay. And you can see the update option is also working fine. So that's all with the implementation for CRUD operations in PHP. Hope you understand. If you are having any doubt, you can leave a comment below and I will definitely respond to them. If you like to download the full source code of this video, you can get it from this link. I'll give the link on the description and you can download the source code from here. Hope you understand the implementation. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel for more such videos.